bury a painful hatchet by order of their...
For many years, the world warmed its hand in front of the brotherly affection of the princes, William and Harry, pleased at their closeness in the aftermath of the death of Diana. That bond has been badly damaged, but today they were back on common ground.
Two brothers trying to bury a painful hatchet by order of their father, the King. To begin with, they looked uncomfortable in each other's presence, but an invitation from Prince William had the brothers and wives cast aside their falling out to help a country heal.
That's what surprised us all. They were all together.
At the gates of Windsor Castle, Meghan tentatively walked across the gravel driveway. Harry quickly sidestepped the group to be by her side. The Duchess of Sussex seen nervously playing with her hair as the courtier explains what happens next. Harry and Meghan hand in hand, rarely letting go of each other, as they somberly strode towards the castle gates with the Prince and Princess of Wales. Since choosing to leave England, today was risky for Meghan. As she moved across the crowd, handshake to handshake, a lady in a navy shirt kept her hand on the fence, refusing to even make eye contact, a royal snub in any language. The image of the brothers observing the flowers, bouquets and handwritten notes had an eerie deja vu about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This time, it wasn't their father, but their wives who offered comfort. Meghan with a hand on a clearly upset Harry's back. William and Kate simply steadfast in duty. But Harry and Meghan were unable to escape the cold reality. This is the family they deserted for a life in America. His brother's elevation as the next king, coming with Kate's new painfully familiar title. It's a title that weighs heavy with history. Unveiling a statue of their mother, Princess Diana, last year was one of the last times the brothers appeared in public together. The relationship was special, an unbreakable brotherly bond forged out of the responsibility of birth and a very public grief. Best men at each other's weddings, the split began when Meghan tried to do the royal life her way.
As brothers, you know, you have good days, you have bad days.
There were times where the couples all but ignored each other, culminating in Harry and Meghan handing in their status as senior royals for a $20 million compound in Santa Barbara, California, and Netflix and Spotify deals.
I had 3 conversations with my grandmother and 2 conversations with my father before he stopped taking my calls.
The trashing of the relationship coming to an unedifying end in an interview with Oprah, with claims of racism and bullying at Buckingham Palace.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
Is the royal family a racist family, sir?
No, we're very much not a racist family.
Prince Philip's funeral saw the brothers briefly reunited. Meghan Markle did not attend. But it was the death of their grandmother that brought the warring brothers and their wives together. Since the Queen passed, thousands and thousands of people have been coming to Windsor to pay their respects to the Queen. But few would have imagined they'd have the chance to do that face-to-face with members of the royal family, including the future King.
Kate, I was fortunate enough also to shake her hand, and she was welling up a little bit.
Prince Harry asked what my name was.
Okay.
And we said, I'm sorry for your loss.
Throughout the sad 40-minute shuffle around Windsor Castle, there was just a slight glimpse of civility returning to the House of Windsor. A hope this family rift might just be mended by the love from a people mourning their monarch. In London, Edward Godfrey, 9 News.
Good evening from London, St James's Palace to our nation's capital and the streets of Sydney. King Charles III has formally been proclaimed. In the United Kingdom, nothing is now being rushed. The transition from Queen to King taking place at its own traditional pace. The body of Queen Elizabeth will begin within the hour its solemn journey to London, where the public along the way will be given the chance to pay their respects. Britain and the Commonwealth farewelling a Queen and welcoming a new King.
With the simple scratch of a pen inking the royal decree, met by 3 cheers from the guardsmen,
Hip, hip! Hooray!
The blast of trumpets, the thunder of artillery, and the roar of crowds across London, signalling that Charles is officially the King. And in one of those twists of British tradition, flags across the United Kingdom returned to full mast just for the day to salute the new monarch. Tomorrow they return to half-mast to continue honouring Queen Elizabeth's passing. While he's dreaded the loss of his mother, Charles' entire life has been one of preparation for this day. But its formalities began without him.
God save the King!
God save the King!
The Accession Council, including every former living British Prime Minister, gathered in St James's Palace, while the official proclamation of the new monarch took place.
The Prince Charles Philip Arthur George is now, by the death of our late sovereign of happy memory, become our only lawful and rightful liege lord, Charles III.
For the first time, the private meeting was made public, televised all over the world, a sign of the modern monarchy. The proclamation documents were first signed by Charles' heir, the new Prince of Wales, and the Queen's consort, before the King was invited into the room to address the council, standing in front of an empty throne.
I know how deeply you, the entire nation, and I think I may say the whole world, sympathise with me in the irreparable loss we've all suffered.
He vowed to follow his mother's example as he took on the ultimate burden of royal duty.
In carrying out the heavy task that has been laid upon me, and to which I now dedicate what remains to me of my life, I pray for the guidance and help of Almighty God.
Taking the oath to fulfil his obligations, and with a slight moment of tension over a cluttered signing table, it was done. The proclamation read out from the balcony of St James's Palace.
3 cheers for His Majesty the King! Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray!
Before a procession travelled to the heart of the city, to repeat the cry across London.
Hip, hip! Hooray!
A new sovereign, but an age-old tradition. Much of the fanfare identical to Queen Elizabeth's proclamation 70 years ago.
By the grace of God, Queen of this realm, and of all her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth, defender of the faith.
From Tower Bridge and Hyde Park to Edinburgh Castle. 41 gun salutes across Charles' kingdom.
So this is the moment, returning to the palace. 6 decades after he was proclaimed a prince, Charles is now officially King of the United Kingdom and Australia.
Despite the new weight on his shoulders, the monarch looked very much at home.
Let's go live to our Euro correspondent Brett McLeod, who's at Westminster Abbey. Brett, details have been firmed up for the Queen's funeral.
Yes, Pete, it's here at the place where the Queen married Philip in 1947 that the nation and the world will say goodbye to her on Monday week, the 19th of September. The details are that she will lie in state at Westminster Hall just across the road from Wednesday, and the public will be given the opportunity to pay their final respects. You can imagine the sorts of crowds that will be there. Her coffin will be moved on the morning of the funeral to Westminster Abbey for the service. That gets underway at 11 a.m. local time, so that's 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. There will be about 2,000 invitation-only guests to watch the service. It will go for just over an hour, and then the King and other senior members of the royal family will go back to Windsor to St George's Chapel, where the Queen will be in the royal vault. It will be quite a moving service. It will be televised live, and we'll have all the details here on 9, and then the world's eyes will turn back to Westminster Abbey in the months ahead for the coronation of King Charles III. Pete?
Brett McLeod reporting live to us from London. Thank you.